If you're preparing for PMP exam, then you may be a little bit worried, or you may be a lot worried. But there are certain things that you can keep in mind which are applicable for every single question that you would take in the exam, like the skills of a project manager. In this video, I will talk about four things that would help you while you are answering the questions in the PMP exam. Now, of course, you need to understand the concepts, you need to have the mindset of a project manager, you need to prepare, you need to take questions before you attempt the PMP exam. But while you are sitting in the examination hall, if I can call it, while you are taking the exam, while you are attempting the questions, what are those things that you should keep in mind which would help you in answering the question? Now you can practice these things while you're taking the mock exams so that you become habitual of applying whatever I'm going to talk about today. Now, these are not magic tricks. These are not going to change your entire life. I would not claim any such things. But these are well understood, well researched topics that would help you in your exam. The four things that I'm going to talk about today are also aligned to the power skills that PMI talks of, which means whatever you're going to see in the next 4 to 5 minutes is going to help you immensely in developing that skill which will help you solving the PMP exam questions and also help you manage the projects better. The four things that I'm going to talk about are involve people, have conversations, don't jump to conclusion without analysis, and fourth, always think about the greater good. Let's see all these 4 points, what I'm talking about. I'll take some references from PMP questions and explain you these four things, and then we'll talk about something which is a bonus of all these 4 points. First of all is to involve people over just sharing information. Whenever you see an option that talks about bringing people together, it is considered to be better than just informing them. For example, you would want to conduct a site walkthrough with the customer rather than sharing just the progress report. Customer would understand better. You would want to conduct audits, visit the supplier's facility rather than just relying on the test report. Because when you look at the progress, when you see the progress, that's when you understand better. Conducting workshop, maybe for vision, maybe for planning, maybe for anything else, is much better than just informing the vision to the team members. Team members are involved, they would participate, and they would learn better. For that matter, participatory decision making. Right? When you bring people together who are from different backgrounds, they provide their own suggestions from their own experience, the decisions that you will take will be much, much better. Right? So the point here is involve people over just informing them. The second is to have conversations. Whenever you see options where they are discussing about collaboration, about meeting, about facilitating a meeting, talking to people, discussing, analyzing, it is generally considered better. Why? Because when people come together, magic happens. So when you start having conversations, that's when you understand the problem better, that's when you understand the concern better. It could be a risk, it could be an issue, it could be anything else. You would understand it better only if you have that conversation. And when you are having the conversation, the best way to do that is through a face-to-face meeting. Right? You can see the expression, you can see the body language, and you will understand it better. Right? So have conversations. When a problem is reported, when a concern is raised, when a risk is identified, when you want to decide the best plan possible, have conversations. That was the second point. The third point is don't jump to conclusion without analyzing the situation. Any options that you see in the exam that talks about a decision being made, an action being taken, always look back to the question and see whether the information justifies that information that is to be taken. Especially if the question is about what next, what should you do first. If such questions are there, then you would want to see, is any option talking about understanding the situation? Is there any option talking about analyzing the situation and the impact of that situation on the project? If yes, then most of the times you will see understanding and analyzing the situation precedes the action, because the question is about what will you do next? What is the next best thing to do? Right? And we don't jump to conclusion. Anyway, just imagine this. There's a complaint that a team member is not performing well. Will you fire them? There's a risk that the project might get delayed. Will you change the schedule? Will anybody agree to change the schedule in your management, in your customer side? No, they will not agree. Just because there is a risk which may impact the schedule does not mean that I'll change the schedule. First, I would understand the impact. I would try to understand what else can be done, what kind of options are available with us to still complete the project on schedule, and then we will conclude the decision. So whenever you see decisions in the option, always try to compare it with an option that talks about understanding, an option that talks about analyzing, and if the question is about what is the next thing to do, what is the best first thing to do, then you would select understanding and analysis over the actions. The fourth point and the last point is to always think of the greater good. What do we mean by greater good? It should be beneficial for the project. So whatever decisions that you see in the options, first you will compare it with your analysis and understanding. Okay, but if the question is saying how would you solve the problem, then all the four options would be a decision that you have to take. If they are talking about what is the best course of action, probably all the four options are talking about the decision that you will take. Then when you are comparing the decisions in the options, always see how this decision is going to impact my project. The decision should always be taken for the benefit of the project. That is what we mean by thinking about greater good. How is the decision going to help your project, your people, your organization, and the industry in which you are working? 70 to 80% of the times you would be taking decisions which are in the benefit of the project. But remaining 20-30% of the times you will be taking decisions which would impact the people around you, which would impact the organization or the industry, because there will be questions on business environmental factor as well. Okay, so always whenever you look at the options, compare and see whether the decision is helping the project or not. Look for the greater good. Now, if we combine all these 4 points together, it gives us a strategy to solve PMP exam questions. For people domain questions, mostly when we involve people, when we collaborate with people, when we have conversations, it is generally a better thing to do because we need to involve people together, only then best solutions would come out. For process domain questions, especially if they are asking about what is the next thing to do, what is the next best thing to do, or what will the project manager do first, we would need to see whether the options are talking about understanding, evaluating, analyzing, or they are talking about actions. We would not jump to conclusion, so understanding, evaluation, analysis will be better. And the fourth part is that you will see some options, some questions where you are looking at 4 decisions being made, or at least 2 decisions being made. And when you compare those decisions, that decision which would impact the project the most in positive way is the best decision. So you should always think of greater good. Now what do you need to do? Practice this strategy in your mock exams. See whether it is helping you improve your score or not. Are you feeling more confident about it? Not because above all these strategies, all these discussions is your feeling of confidence. Right? So whenever you are writing the exam, feel confident about your preparation. Those options which you have not seen before, it might happen, maybe 1 or 2 questions. If you have not seen it before, don't think that, okay, that option would be correct, which I don't know. Okay? You have done a good work, you have done a hard work, you have been studying about it, you have already experienced. So believe in your preparation, believe in your understanding, believe in your mindset. And that option which you think is close to the answer would be better than that option which you are seeing for the first time. Now keep practicing this strategy in your mock exams and see if it is helping you or not. If it is helping you, do let me know. If it is not helping you, also do let me know. No matter the stage of your preparation, if you want to have a conversation with me, then please let me know about your stage of preparation. Whatever your doubts are, you can always reach out to me on this email ID and then we will have a conversation. I hope this video would help you in your preparation. All the best for your PMP exam. Thank you.